Let's now have a look at the different toolbars within Excel. And before that, in fact, let's have a look at the title bar. So the title bar is this thing here. And essentially what it's telling you is that we're in Excel and also the name of your workbook. In my case, I haven't saved this workbook, and this is just something that opens up when I start a new instant of Excel. So it's just given it a name, a generic name, book, and then followed by a number and 1. So if I create a new workbook by going to File and then going to New and choosing a blank workbook, you'll see that it gives it a name of Book 2. And Excel will keep doing this, increasing the numbers for any amount of workbooks that you create. If I gave this a name, the name would be here. On the left here, this is what is called the Quick Access toolbar, and it can be quite useful. By default, it'll have these 3 actions or commands here. So we have save, redo, and undo. And this little drop down button here, if we click this, it shows us a few other options. And what this allows us to do is actually add in other useful functions. So for example, if you find yourself creating lots of workbooks, you can add the new button here, and then we can just click this to make a new workbook. Or what's quite useful is actually having the sort buttons here, if you find yourself sorting through a lot of data. And you can obviously remove them by just unchecking them here. What you can also do is there's a button called More Commands, which actually allows you to put pretty much any command that Excel has into your Quick Access toolbar, which could be really useful later on when you learn that you work with certain functions more often. So here we have what's called the name box. The name box shows which cell you're actively in. So if I click here, it'll show C2 because we're in cell C2. Or if you select a number of cells, it'll show you the name or the range of cells that you've selected. Next to it, we have the formula bar. The formula bar is where you can enter formulas. You can obviously enter them directly into the cell itself, usually starting with an equal sign. We'll talk about this later. And it will just show you any formulas that you might be working on. And when you click on it, it also has a little cancel or an enter button to tell Excel that you're ready to enter the formula. Towards the bottom, we have what's known as the status bar. So the status bar here tells us that Excel is ready. Next to this, we have the macro button, which let's not worry about for now. And then on the right, we have a couple of other icons. This allows you to change your views, to have a look at print preview and other things, and the zoom in and out button, and you can just drag to zoom in or out. What's really interesting about the status bar is actually when you start typing, or when you have some data, so I'm just going to type some numbers in now. When you select them, you also get a quick snapshot of different information about these numbers. So you can see in the bottom here that Excel is telling us some simple information about them. So it's telling us what the average is, how many numbers we have selected, and the sum of these numbers. You can actually add more information here by right-clicking, and then it has a lot of different options. I'm not going to go through all of these, but it helps if you need to just have a quick snapshot at your data sometimes without doing too many calculations.